The opportunity comes to those who are prepared. Evan, let's start with you. What does that mean to be prepared? Like, you don't know when these deals are going to come along. You don't know exactly what they're going to look like. How can you prepare for so much uncertainty?
To tell you the truth, Tim, we pretty much made our business model based on that. So for us, I've probably done debt restructures or reformations for every client we've actually taken on at Maverick, just for that reason. Was guys knew that growth was going to come. It wasn't necessarily, if, it was more when. And it was, how do we position the balance sheet in a way that we can take opportunities and turn them into realities? So for guys, whether it was pushing out some of their other debt or opening up some security, or just getting the balance sheet ready so that they could sign the check the moment the landlord knocked on the door and said, would you be interested? Because for us, I mean, we go by the Warren Buffett rule of 7 days, which is, if you're going to buy something, wait 7 days, because you'll probably change your mind before 7 days. Where landlords go by the same rule. So for us, if we can jump on a land deal right out of the gate, we find there's a way better opportunity for us to get it, rather than giving the landlord, that 5, 6 days where we have to talk to the banker and the accountant and have it all figured out, and be ready to say yes. Where the moment they sit down at the kitchen table, whether it's myself, Christian, whoever it is in the group, we're ready to say yes. And for us, last year, that was a 25% increase in acres for us. And it literally took a 5-minute conversation to get that done. So those are what I mean by being prepared and having things ready. Is have, Grant will probably elaborate on some of this with some of the financing and stuff, but it's just getting everything prepared so that you don't have to think about it. The decision's made before they walk in the door.
Yeah, Evan, I have a specific example this spring where an individual had called me on a Friday afternoon and notified me that he needed to have his offer into the landlord by Sunday night. And when you think about business hours and how that works, if he didn't know where his capital position was, where his break even was on each farm, that's not going to happen. I mean, there's not enough time to put that together. And that's really what you're looking like at from a financial standpoint, is you have to know where your working capital or your capital levels are, so you know how much cash you can put into this thing, and you have to know your break evens or your cash flow, because if you're taking financing right now at these interest rates, it's probably not going to cash flow on itself. You're going to have to subsidize from other parts of the operations unless you're putting a very large chunk of cash towards the purchase. So absolutely need to be ready, know those figures beforehand. And I would say also backup plans. A lot of guys, when they're buying this ground, they know that they're going to be doing a 1031 exchange. They're going to sell that, that 80 that's 20 miles away to help them bring on these 200 acres here. So sometimes it isn't always an outright purchase. It's adjusting what your farm looks like to better suit you for the future or the next generation.